Welcome to part 5 of our lecture series on using our Raspberry Pi to create our very own smart doorbell. This lecture builds upon lecture 4, in which we emailed a first and second image, including other images such as the masked image and the grayscaled image, all of that information to the user to notify the user that someone or something has entered the user-defined area. So in part 5 of this lecture series, we'll continue this process of notifying the user by creating a Twilio account and sending a text message to the user when someone or something enters that user-defined area. Some background here on Twilio as a company. Twilio was founded in 2008 in San Francisco, and they build cloud communications to enable different applications through messaging and voice calling. Now, all of their platforms are based on Amazon Web Services, and you may have actually used some of their products if you've used the GroupMe app. Let's begin this lecture then by heading over to twilio.com and we'll create a user account. Here we are at the Twilio homepage. Let's scroll up and click on Sign Up to create an account. Go ahead and enter your information here, including an email and password for this account, and then we'll start our free trial. You will need to verify your email account and then enter in your cell phone number, and Twilio will text your cell phone a verification code. Once you receive that code via text message, go ahead and enter it into the Twilio page here. Twilio will ask you a few questions. Yes, we like to write our own code. Obviously, Python is our preferred language, but in terms of goals, let's just skip over this and head over to our home page. So here we have arrived at our Twilio dashboard, and the first thing of importance is to note this trial balance. Each time we use Twilio to send the text message, they'll effectively deduct funds from this trial balance. And so we'll only be able to use so many text messages with this trial account. After you click on Get Trial Number, Twilio will offer you a trial phone number. Go ahead and accept that number, and you'll see your new phone number here. This, of course, is the number Twilio will use to send text messages. Looks like we're all set up with our trial number. Let's now jump over to our Pi and start to write some code. First thing we need to do is install the Twilio package. So we'll run sudo pip3 install Twilio. With Twilio successfully installed on our Pi, let's create a script now to implement this functionality. To begin, we'll type sudo nano send text message.py. Inside of this send text message.py script, we'll import from twilio.rest, we'll import client with a capital C. And let's run an initial test just to make sure that this package imported properly. So I'll go ahead and type print packages imported, and I'll Control X and save that file. And then let's run it with a Python 3 send text message.py. Looks like all the packages imported properly. Great, let's continue. Let's go back in and continue to edit the send text message.py script. I'll go ahead and remove this print statement. And let's define our account SID, right? And this will be listed in the Twilio dashboard. So you want to go ahead and copy that value from your Twilio dashboard. Just right click to paste that in and make sure that you're assigning that as a string by putting that in quotes. Next up, we need to define the authorization token. So once again, head back to the Twilio dashboard, copy that authorization token, and then we can just right click into the terminal window here to paste that in. That also will be listed as a string. Let's continue. We need to define client. Lowercase c equals client with a capital C, and we'll pass the account SID and the authorization token through client here. Let's go ahead and define the message that we want to send. So we'll say message equals client.api.account.messages.create. And we have a couple lines that we want to assign here. So I'll tab over. The 2 will be the cell phone that you want to deliver the text message to. So that'll likely be your personal cell phone number. And you have to put a +1 in front of the number. We'll then put a comma, and then we'll define the from, right? And so that will be from your Twilio number here, right? So that trial number, including, again, the +1, we want to include in that line. So here is our trial number. We'll copy that over and right-click to paste that into our terminal window. Take note of the nomenclature. It's from _ equals that number. Let's define body. This is a test message, and we'll wrap up message with that right parenthesis. Let's go ahead and save this file. So we'll Control X and save, and I'll run the script here with a Python 3 send text message.py. Looks like the script ran successfully, and here then is the message from our Twilio trial account. Let's go ahead and add this functionality into our Smart Doorbell masking script. So I'll cd into Smart Doorbell folder, open up our Smart Doorbell masking.py. First thing we need to do is page down here and say from Twilio.rest. We'll import client, again, capital C. And let's page down into that if loop now and add in this text message functionality into our detection algorithm. So I'll say send text message to notify user as well, because we had sent an email previously in the section of code right above. Let's add that same functionality in then. So we need to go ahead and type in our account SID. You can copy and paste that. And we also need to add the authorization token. Same thing, auth_token. We'll set that equal to our authorization token that I'll right click and paste in. Let's go ahead and pass the account SID and the authorization token through client here. And then let's now define the message. So we'll say message equals client.api.account.message, and we'll add in the to, from, and body. This time through, let's define the body of the message as Smart Doorbell Detection, and let's add in the timestamp information in the ftime variable. If we page up here, we'll recall that ftime lists the day of the week, the date, the month, at the hour, and minute. So let's include that information as well. This all looks good then. Actually have one quick typo here. I need to scroll up. It's account.messages.create with an S. That looks good. So let's Control X and save that file. With our script updated, let's go ahead and run Smart Doorbell masking.py, and let's head outside and test the functionality of this script. Okay, I'm outside of the house again. I'm approaching the door, and once I enter this user-defined area, The smart doorbell will go ahead and detect that someone or something has entered this user-defined area. That, of course, is me. We've initiated a recording of a video session here to track what's going on in front of the door. We're now uploading that video to Dropbox. And then once this video is uploaded, we'll take advantage of Twilio to notify the user via text message that someone or something has entered that user-defined area. Here I've received a notification that the file has uploaded to Dropbox, and here then is the message, including that F-time information, as received on my cell phone. Keep in mind again that each time you send a message through Twilio, you will use funds on that trial balance. And so if I refresh the page here, you'll see that funds have been deducted from my trial account during this exercise. That wraps up part 5 of this lecture series on using our Raspberry Pi to create our very own smart doorbell. As always, reach out anytime with questions, ideas, or feedback.